Hi there, this is the dreaded poisoned rook trap in the Fritz variation of the two knights defence, and it's a trap I once sadly fell into myself in the last round of a tournament where I just needed a draw with the white pieces to guarantee first place, but sadly for me I lost the game. e4 and e5, knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4 and the two knights defence with knight f6. The most aggressive variation for white arguably is knight g5, hitting f7. So black defends by thrusting a pawn in the center with d5, blocking the bishop's diagonal and hitting the bishop at the same time. E takes on d5 can be met with the Chigorin variation, knight a5, but we're looking at the Fritz variation with knight d4. Theoretically, white's best move here is c3, immediately driving away the knight, but black responds with a counter threat, b5, hitting the bishop. And the bishop here counterintuitively returns home to f1, the reason being that if queen takes on d5 afterwards, white wants to keep the g2 pawn covered. So bishop f1 now isn't met by queen takes on d5, rather knight takes on d5, which hits the knight on g5, leaving black's knight on d4 still hanging. Well, in this position, when I faced this position with the white pieces, I figured that this knight is going to drop anyway. I might as well disrupt black's castling rights and take the pawn on f7 and then capture the pawn on d4. Makes a lot of sense. So after knight takes f7, king takes f7. Now I picked up the knight on d4. Black responded with e takes on d4, and nothing looked more logical than queen f3, hitting the king, thinking the knight, if it drops back to interpose to a natural square f6, then the rook is dropping on a8, but black can happily give up that rook. And complications arise after knight f6 and queen takes on a8, because now the queen has just taken the rook, white's a rook up, but that queen is going to have trouble extricating herself from that a8 square. Bishop c5, quiet, sensible developing move, freeing the rook on h8, heading for e8, and the bishop defending the pawn on a7. And now black is really in control. White has to dance around eggshells here. What can the queen do? If the queen were to run back to, say, f3, let's have a look at this variation, queen f3, then black's going to probably be winning after rook e8 check. And if bishop e2, then d3 is winning material for black with an overwhelming position. And if after rook e8 the king were to move to d1, then bishop g4 is going to simply pick up the white queen and black's going to be winning. So queen f3 isn't really an option. In the game that I played, I think I played bishop takes on b5, and I fell after rook e8, and I can't recall if I played king d1 or king f1 in this position, but I went on to lose. Instead of bishop b5, queen c6 is white's best move here. White can perhaps just about hold. After queen now e7 check and king d1, bishop d7 is going to send the queen back into a non-comfort zone. It can't go to f3 again because of the aforementioned bishop g4 picking up the queen. The queen's going to have to go to a6, which can allow knight to e4. Let's run through that. Queen a6 can allow knight to e4, and slight advantage here for black with knight takes f2 is on the cards. And if queen back to b7, queen isn't currently under fire, but c6 defending the pawn on b5 and also threatening bishop to g4 check, which will win the white queen with queen takes on b7. But white can just about hold with f3. And this is an extremely unclear and complicated position in which I would certainly take black because of the active piece play, but white can perhaps just about hold. So this has been the poisoned rook trap in the Fritz variation of the two knights defense. Hope you found this useful, and thank you for watching. Bye bye.